What is up, my beautiful people? My name is Jamz and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about the new album by Buddy and Jamz entitled Janktape Volume 1. This is the first collab project from Compton rapper Buddy and Los Angeles Jamz, who is a part of the rap group OverDoz, which comes to us only a few years after Buddy's album Harlan and Alondra and OverDoz's compilation album entitled 2008. Buddy and Jamz put their unique styles together as Buddy once again never disappoints and Jamz attempts to step outside of OverDoz's shadow. I actually have a few positives and negatives to say about this album, so let's go talk about the positives first. The production value on this album is a pretty decent highlight, because Jamz's style has more of that, old school and kind of boom bap style of rap, and Buddy has that really great modern and lyrical and hype, style of rap, and just combine it together, it was a pretty like weird sound, but for the most part, it was unique, and I actually did find myself enjoying, most of the production value that this album had to offer. However, in my opinion, Buddy was absolutely the biggest highlight and memorable part of this whole album. I had the privilege of seeing Buddy live 2 years ago in the summer when he came with Joey Badass here in Denver. And honestly, he did not disappoint whatsoever, both in person and in his projects. Buddy is just a force to be reckoned with. I really love how Buddy's unique and weird personality is shown throughout this whole album, especially on the song Burberry Party, his only solo song on here. And for the most part, his lyrical abilities are really damn clever. Buddy's singing voice is really amazing as well. And honestly, throughout this whole album, Buddy is a really memorable part of the album. And he honestly is such a unique artist both on this album and in the hip-hop industry as well. Unfortunately, the one negative thing that I have to say about this album is with Jamz himself. This was my first time hearing anything that Jamz has to offer, and just hearing the skills that he has, and honestly, I just wasn't that impressed with him. For somebody who comes from a fairly decent and impressive hip-hop group like OverDoz, Jamz does unfortunately sound like a typical mumble rapper that you hear on the radio these days throughout this whole album. It's really unfortunate because I feel that OverDoz has fairly made some pretty decent and enjoyable songs that I came to love, and Jamz does have some potential in here because his voice sounds really good, especially when he sings, he sounds super good, and for the most part, when he does give a fuck and actually starts rapping like he does care, he does sound good. And unfortunately, I just didn't like that he just sounded like a typical rapper that you hear these days that doesn't sound that good. Honestly, the first 5 tracks on the album was a pretty rough start because of the fact that I didn't like what Jamz had to offer, because it just felt like he was just half-assing stuff. And then the final 5 tracks on the album is when it started to get better, and I actually started to enjoy it because it seems that Jamz was actually taking it serious and actually started giving a fuck. And it's just unfortunate because I really wanted to enjoy this whole album, but it just had its flaws that kept it from being enjoyable for me, at least. It's really unfortunate because I feel that this album had so much potential, especially when Buddy and Jamz started to sing throughout the end of the album and got sentimental and vulnerable. I feel that was the best part of the album, especially when I feel that Buddy was by far the biggest highlight throughout the whole album. But at the same time, like I said, it does have its flaws, for me at least, that hold it back from being a really great album and really enjoyable album. I feel that not that many people are going to remember most of the songs on this album 2 months from now, unfortunately. Overall, besides the final 5 tracks that I did enjoy from this album, I do think that this album is worth listening to. I don't think it will disappoint you, especially to those who are big OverDoz fans and for those who love Buddy. And honestly, it is really decent, and I do recommend this album to anyone. Only if you want to hear Buddy. I don't really recommend it for Jamz. I just really didn't fuck with him on this one, but I do recommend this for Buddy because, like I said, he is the biggest highlight on the album. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click that bell down below, all that good stuff so you don't miss a single one of my uploads whatsoever. And don't forget to stay happy.
Never been good at saying bye, baby. Once upon a time, you was mine, baby. That's why I go through this all the time, baby. Said you love me, guess you changed your mind, ayy. New fine.